And again, if you didn't quite get the sign in and questions link, I'll be posting that in the chat throughout the meeting just so that you can continue getting any follow-up information. And of course, any questions you have, you'll put directly in that link as we go through the meeting. But to recap for the recording, I'm Miss Medina and this is Dr. Ward. We're both teachers in the Dysart District and we are both actually hosting this trip. So we'll tell you a lot more about it. So here's our agenda. We, in this meeting, will be covering the value of travel and our travel partner, which is through EF. We'll talk about their how they'll be helping us through this experience and why we've chosen them. And sorry, I'm getting like a little notification about the meeting ending in 10 minutes. I might just have to restart it in 10 minutes. I'm so sorry about that. Everyone has the link to the meeting, right? That we could just rejoin if it kicks us out. Yeah, sorry about that. A little bit of oversight. But other things that we'll be covering is what we'll see and what we'll do, our travel plans and our tour itinerary, where we'll be going and what we'll see and experience, what's included and what's not. So we'll cover everything that is included financially and things to account for and budget for. And the price and enrolling. So we will review payment options, discuss how to enroll, and review how you can get your questions answered. So we are going to dive right in. And Dr. Ward, like he's mentioned, he's traveled like, he's hosted many of these trips. He was actually my Spanish teacher back when I was in high school. So he is a wealth of knowledge, which is why I've invited him to be a part of this meeting. So I'm mostly going to let him take the floor and I'm mostly going to be monitoring and, you know, answering the questions in the chat, putting them in the QR code. And of course, I'll remind you when it gets close to the time it might cut off and we just might have to restart the meeting. So I'll have him take the floor from here.
Okay, so why travel? This is an opportunity for students to kind of take what they've learned in the classroom and see it in real life. And so some of the places that we'll see, and I am by no means a history buff. I usually have a history teacher attend with me, and so that way she can kind of give me or provide all of the details about what some of these places are and how significant they are. But it is an opportunity for taking or extending the classroom beyond just those four walls of the classroom. And it gives them an opportunity to experience food that is different from what they're used to experiencing, customs, dances. We really get our students immersed in that culture. And so there's a lot of some of the best experiences that we have are experiences that are not even planned for. They just happen to occur because we happen to be at the right place at the right time. But okay, go ahead and go on to the next slide, please. So yeah, EF has been, I mean, I turned 55 this year, and so EF is older than me. And what I really do like about EF, and I have tried other organizations, and EF provides the most bang for our buck. I feel like they almost have a monopoly on group travel, and they definitely have the right number of individuals on the ground across the globe. And to me, that's really important because, at the end of the day, the most important thing is safety. And knowing that where we're going, there's going to be staff members that are, really close to where we are. That is very comforting to me. So, and not to mention the fact that, I mean, EF is accredited just like our high schools. So knowing that they have people in place who are familiar with educational programming and how to implement it and how to incorporate it into our experiences, as an educator, that's really important to me. Okay, so and what I am going to I will be talking about a lot of this stuff, but also I tend to shoot from the hip. There are some things that I don't necessarily agree with, and I'm going to share that with you because I do want to um, provide you with my gut reaction to some of the things that are offered and what's really, in my mind, not something that I would recommend that you invest in. But with regard to safety, EF is second to none. I have seen them. I mean, a group could be in flight and they have a completely different itinerary by the time they hit the ground, due to something that has happened on the ground. One example is there was a group going somewhere where there was a volcanic eruption, obviously something that they did not know about, and they completely rerouted the entire group to an entire different itinerary. And honestly, even though the location was different, that did not impact the positive experience that the entire group had. So it's really nice to know that EF has it together, and they're prepared for pretty much anything. Additionally, so we have a tour director who is with us 24/7. I consider him kind of like our own personal concierge. Anytime we need him, if there's a problem day or night, all I have to do is reach out to him and he will take care of any issue for us. So it's really nice I mean, that's very comforting to me, knowing that we're so far away from home, but we have somebody who is lock and step with EF the entire time. They have a satellite phone, and so it doesn't matter where we are. I've been in like the rainforest of Costa Rica, and our tour director would receive a call saying, "Hey, a mother needs to reach their child for whatever reason," and it gets right to that person with very minimal difficulty. So it's really nice to have, that kind of support when you're so far away from home. Go on to the next slide. Yeah, so these are some additional items. There is an opportunity to go with the college credit. There is an additional charge for that, but they do receive college credit for the course, which is kind of nice. But they also have they give you access to help with the college essay. And also, they have a personalized learning guide that students will have access to while they're over in Europe or wherever we're going. But in this case, we'll be in Great Britain. So we'll be in, Ireland, Scotland, and England. So it's basically a personal journal that, gives students high school credit as well. So they can get half a credit from high school. Okay, go on to the next. So go ahead and click because
Okay.
this is a
Yeah,
new
it
slide
was
to me.
just
I've never.
mentioning that other Dysart schools also host EF tours. So,
Yeah, I know that Valley Vista and Willow Canyon. I've got one of my former students over at Dysart who's also going to be taking students on this trip as well. Um, and then us. So
awesome.
basically all four, but we're not the only ones. I think there are some middle schools who, also are involved in student travel.
Good. And just to let everyone know, if you didn't hear earlier, I don't have the paid version of Zoom. So unfortunately, it's going to kick us out in 2 minutes, but you can just rejoin in the link. I'll have it right up as soon as it closes, but it has like less than 2 minutes right now. But we'll keep going and
Yeah, I'll try to
just
get through as
rejoin.
much as possible, and then I know that Miss Medina is going to have to restart the video or the recording, but which is fine.
Yeah.
So this is our itinerary. We'll fly into Ireland, and we'll go all the way up to Northern Ireland and then into Scotland, and then we'll come back down through London. So that is our itinerary. On occasions, they'll do the itinerary in reverse format. So they'll start with London and then go back through, and we'll end in Ireland. But usually and that usually has to do with any special attractions that we need to go to, and those attractions only happen on certain days of the week, so they have to kind of flip things so that we're able to get access to everything. But I have never had that happen to me. So, more than likely that won't occur. Okay, so this is the start of our tour. We'll fly overnight. It's kind of nice because you get to sleep. We always leave the U.S. After 7 o'clock p.m. And so, which due to the time change, it's really nice because we do get to sleep. Some students try to brave it and stay up the entire night. I strongly advise against that because the moment we hit the ground running. And so there is no stop. We do not go to the hotel first. We are on our first walking tour of the city that we land in, which happens to be Dublin in this case. So we won't even have time to shower or